Well, Peter,
Yes, sir.
best in show judging at National Terrier. That's got to be quite a special moment.
Oh, it is for me. Yeah, I probably started coming to National Terrier in the late 50s. Yeah. And I came when I was living home. I came every year, of course. Yeah.
But you haven't lived here in quite some time, have you?
Well, no, I left in '63.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
And whenever we mention your name, Andrew always pushes home that you're a proud Welshman.
Yeah, we're the both most well-known Welshmen.
But on the other side of the pond,
Right.
you've had quite a fair amount of success, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I moved there in '63. I worked private in a private kennel for till about '66, and then I went in business on my own as showing for anyone, you know.
As a professional handler.
Professional handler, yes.
And as a handler, is it 8 times at Montgomery, 4 times at 9?
9 times at Montgomery and 4 times at Westminster.
And of course, once on this side of the pond at Crufts.
Oh, yeah, that was a very important win. Yeah. So I've been pretty lucky and shown a lot of nice dogs in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I've spent my lifetime in dogs, so that's so it's good for me.
Where did your start in dogs come? What breeds were involved?
I was born and raised in Neath, South Wales. My uncle had a very famous kennel of Welsh Terriers.
Right.
And by accident, when I was 11 years old, I went to his place because my great-grandmother lived with him, and everyone was sick with the flu.
Right.
So my great-grandmother was an old lady. She said, "Can you help me clean his dogs up?" He had about 25 dogs.
Wow.
And so I did, and did it for like 2 days, and she said, "You don't need to come back." The following weekend, I saw him in the store, and he said, "Do you want to go to a dog show?" Well, he had a car. So nobody had cars, so I said, "Oh yeah, I'd be glad to go." I was in dogs from there on in. I cleaned his kennel every day until I was 18.
Wow.
Until I went into service. Yeah.
You say you've handled all those dogs over so many years.
Yeah.
Can you pick a couple of favourites?
Well, one I bought in Neath in South Wales. It took me a week. I was there on vacation. It took me a week to go to a Crinan club in the Neath Valley to talk this guy and to let me have this cilium, right?
Right.
After a week of going to the pub every night, and I didn't like to drink, I finally talked him into letting me have her.
Yeah.
And I took her the day, Sunday afternoon, he said I could have her. I didn't have the money to pay him with me, and he said, "Oh, it's okay." Well, the next day, my wife went to pay him, and he was crying. I should never let her go. But anyway, I took her to the States. She won everything there was to win, including Best in Show at Montgomery, Best in Show at Beverly Hills, Best in Show at Westminster. She did it all, and she was like a favorite because of where she came from. Yeah.
And what about when you're judging? Is it a very different experience to being a handler?
It's not near as rewarding as being a handler because, you know, you examine all these lovely dogs and you try to figure out in your own mind which one you think is the best. And so then you give the guy the ribbon and you give him a hug. That you're out of it, you're gone. The dog goes home with the guy. So it's not the same as when you were handling and you're trying to win and hoping the judge is going to pick you. And then when he does, you get a charge out of it because in terriers, you've actually made the dog look like it looks. And the dog only does it because he enjoys it. And so then you get a big charge out of it. When you hand the guy the ribbon, you're out of it. That's
the end.
That's the end. Yeah, you don't take the dog home.
But as a handler, can you see little tricks and things that handlers are trying to convince you into?
Yes. Oh yeah. You know, the good handlers are smooth about it. You know, they're pushing the dog to you, but they're trying to look like they're not really pushing the dog to you. But it's judging is enjoyable because you get to go over some beautiful dogs that you wouldn't normally. And I enjoy the whole thing. I wouldn't have done anything else as it turned out.
You got a couple of minutes until they call all the best of breed winners. How are you feeling now?
Well, I feel good because I know there's a lot of good terriers here. Always in the UK, there's always really good terriers. But there's particularly, at the moment, I think a lot of nice terriers here. Sometimes it's a little thin, But I think at the present time, there's a lot of very good terriers in the UK.
Well, thank you for talking to us, and good luck in Best in Show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.